Honestly, just following my keys, just trying to find where the ball is, right? You're just trying to make plays, just pursue, like, through our fists, just like what the coaches tell us to do, and just playing with effort.
Demitri, you're healthy now, you're productive, compared to a year ago, how much better are you feeling right now? How much more fun are you having right now?
I'm having a lot of fun, honestly. Just like being able to go out there and you're honestly like you're just not in pain while you're playing, right? And just kind of you're confident in yourself. Like everything's gonna hold up. You're gonna move well. Like you're gonna be able to make those plays. And it's just like anything, it just takes time and just belief in yourself. It's pretty awesome.
What was the pain like?
I just think it's just like, I mean, if you've ever gone through any type of injury, right? It's just kind of like it's always sore. It's always like something you don't feel like 100% like when you're doing stuff, but. I mean, it's just kind of nice just to be able to like feel 100%, know like you can push off of it as hard as you can. Just kind of just like honestly, just have trust like in your body to be able to like make plays and handle what football comes with.
You guys obviously rank near the top in a lot of stats. I mean, how good is this defense?
I think like we play up to our potential. I think we can be unstoppable. But I mean, that's just something you prove every week. You prove every rep and you prove every practice. So it's like I mean, potential doesn't really get you anything. You want to put those numbers out like every time you step on the field.
I know you're obviously one of the main guys, but do you ever look around and go like? Think about like, okay, you got JL, you got Scott, you got all these like Zeke, like you guys got a lot of good players out there.
Yeah, we have some dudes, and like that's awesome, right? I mean, you look at all great defenses, you need to have the players to do that, and I think it's super awesome. It's like super surreal when you're surrounded by like such great players. You just need to take your game to a certain level every practice, every game, and just kind of like you just got to know like your spot's not given to you. You got to earn that every day.
Because of that, do you find that there's like less double teaming on people?
I mean, sure, like defense have to like scheme for like certain things, like. If you're getting a double team, right, and people are trying to hold their gap, you got a linebacker running through, and I think Zeke and DJ can make a lot of those plays, and they're going to make things happen. So, I mean, yeah, it definitely helps out. When you have good players, you can play a lot of complementary football.
George has talked about the goal of getting 12 sacks this year, and I'm not sure if you have a goal or if you're goal-oriented number-wise like that. Beyond that, do you guys even have competitions within the group to who's getting the more sacks? Do you have a little fun with it?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think you're always going to, like, whether it's fall camp was like that, whether that's during season. I mean, we're always like, oh, how many, like, the end, oh, I got this, what do you got? And, I mean, at the end of the day, like, for me, I'm all about kind of like, we have the same goal, right? We want to win a Mountain West championship in a bowl game with class integrity and academic excellence. That's just kind of like how I like try to carry, like, it's all about like the team with like, but also like to help the team, you got to make plays, right? So like getting 12 sacks, getting 10 plus sacks, like that's going to help the team win. So you obviously got to make goals like that.
Where do you think you're better because you're healthier? What is making you more productive?
I just think it's just like confidence, right? I think it's like fun. I mean, kind of everybody when they're going through that injury, that you want to be back, right? Especially like, all right, like in certain scenarios, like a lot of people, like when you play like young, right, and then you get hurt kind of later, you're always like, whether you're gonna hear certain things, if it's well, so far like what the hype all go and all that stuff, and I mean potential doesn't really get you anything. It's just nice to be able to like go out there and make plays, right? And like, I mean, we have one goal, right? You want to win a Mountain West championship. I haven't done that since my redshirt freshman year, and that's the goal. That's where I want to be, and that's where we want to be as a defense and as a team.
Ashton runs incredibly physically for a freshman. How tough is he to tackle, and what makes him so tough to tackle?
I mean, I think it's really awesome that he was in Italy for like half his high school career, so we got to have him come here. I mean, that's a dude, right? I mean, you see him run, and like, it's awesome, right? Like, you see somebody who can make plays. Like, he's always falling forward. He's always like, you think he's down, and here comes another 5 yards. It's just really, really awesome to have him. And you have him, George, Elion, and guys like that. KD got some reps, like you have like in T-Crow, like you have guys like that. Like it's a really awesome running back room, and they all can make plays.
What do you mean about him being in Italy? Is that like he would have been at a bigger school had he went?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's always a joke I have with him. Like, thank God you were in Italy and we were a nose guard like your sophomore year of high school. So it's just like, I mean, I always just like joke with him about that because like we're like really, really lucky to have him, and he's just a dude. Like you watch what he does out there. Like that's not how normal freshmen play. So it's just awesome that we have him, and he's just a baller.
Demitri, how much does Scott Matlock impact not just the defensive line, but the entire defense? I mean, maybe it's not really that Air Force game, like he was signaling to the secondary. It looked like to let them know what's up at times. So how much does he impact, 1 through 11 on the defense?
I mean, yeah, Scott's like an incredible player, and Scott's a great leader, right? I mean, you have someone with that IQ where he knows kind of what everybody's doing. Like, it's really cool when you're able to do, all right, this play's going to go out to the outside. This play's like, it's going to be a pass. Like, you can change up, right? And me, like, personally being next to him, like, it's super awesome, and it's, like, just really cool to have that, and helps me out, and we're able to make plays.
How unique is it for a defensive lineman to be, or for a guy on the inside? Maybe it's not, I don't know, but is it unique to have a guy that is communicating and that on point?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like, when you have a guy who just knows kind of what a whole offense is doing, I mean, that's always unique, right? At any position, right? I mean, that's the part where, like, a lot of players get celebrated. I mean, all levels, like, oh, they know where the play's coming that before it even happens. I mean, that's such an advantage to have, especially on the inside where you don't really expect it that much, but I mean, it helps us out a lot.
Colorado State, I think they're not lead the nation in sacks given up. They lead the conference in that. You guys lick your chops on a game like this when you know maybe a team going into it has struggled to protect the quarterback. You think, hey, this might be a multiple sack game for a couple of guys.
I mean, we just have to do our job, right? We just focus on, we don't look at like the pass, what they do. I mean, we get a best team shot every time they step on the blue. It's something when you get here, you're going to get a team's best shot when they come here, right? So it's just focusing on what we have to do, and if we do what we have to do, we're going to make plays, and we're going to have those big time games.
What do you see out of their running back, number 25? He's had some big games for them.
Yeah, he's a really, really good player, runs really, really hard, and I mean, he's a dude. Like, it's someone you got to bring your pads to. He's going to run through arm tackles, and I mean, you just got to be ready. That's like, we got to do our job and box him in and just make plays, get a bunch of people to the fit, and we'll be ready to roll.
We were talking with Spencer about this a little bit yesterday. How would you rate your performance as a tackle? Not just you, but as a team. How would you say you guys have tackled so far this year?
I think we tackled well, but I think it's something that we need to improve in, right? Like the games that we tackled really, really well, we have those really dominant performances. The games we don't tackle as well, we don't have that, right? So it's just focusing on just the little details and making sure that, I mean, you got to make a play, second guy to the fit, get the ball out, and let's just roll.
You mentioned something along the lines of like, as they break down tackling, they'll see what you guys did well, and then maybe the type of tackle that you could do a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly does that show up in like practice after a game, and how much does that help?
I mean, yeah, it shows up all the time, right? I mean, there's tons of tackles like in this last game that we practiced all week, right? And that you make and you watch the film, it's like, oh, that's literally the exact same thing, whether that's on a bag, on a body, or something like that. I mean, yeah, like it's just really cool. Like our coaches always put us in really in good spots, like learn and get better, and yeah, they always pop up on game day.
You get like 9 starters on defense that are like redshirt seniors or 60 or seniors. How's that experience of having like mostly fifth, sixth year guys helping you guys?
I mean, it's awesome. We know how to work with each other, and also like we know how each other are. Like, someone makes a play, like you know how to you can get you can kind of celebrate with them. Get if they don't make a play, you know how to communicate, right? We know what goes wrong, and it's able to have those real conversations. Where we're the sideline, all right, where'd that hit? Oh, it hit there. All right, I'll do this. You do that. All right, boom, fix it. And then it's not like something that's we're constantly having to get the same thing, the same mistakes, or that finally we're able to fix it. We just get that right now and be ready to roll.
What's it like going up against Garrett Kerner?
I mean, it's awesome. Garrett, I mean, me and Garrett play on the same youth football team, so I've known Garrett for years, right? So it's just good being playing with him. I mean, that dude plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's just extremely physical. So he's always just kind of been like that, and he's just a really, really good player.
You got a good Garrett Kerner story?
I mean, Garrett used to be a pretty good tight end. So he used to be super, super skinny. He was back when he was a really a baseball guy. So he used to go up. He used to make some big plays, score some touchdowns a little bit, and then I don't know. Now he decided I don't want to just block people. I guess wasn't athletic enough.
How did you guys commit right around the same time? Or
yeah. So I committed, I think, a little bit earlier, but he committed right after. It's pretty cool, to be able to actually see that. I mean, we played together back when we were 14 years old, and be playing together now. It's pretty cool.
How often did you go against each other in high school?
We never went against each other in high school. We were just in 2 different divisions, but I mean, this was pretty cool.
Yeah.
When it comes to Gary, pick up a couple personal fouls last game. We talked about that fine line and not crossing it. As a defensive lineman that goes against an offensive lineman that might be good at finding that line, how important is that, and how much can that eventually maybe break a guy that you're going against?
I mean, yeah, it's really difficult. I mean, you got somebody that can take you out of a game, right? So if you're not focused on your job, focused on just beating somebody up and not playing the game, that can take you out of it. And then you're making you're doing dumb things, you're getting out of your gap and just trying to beat him and kind of missing plays that you can make, right? So I think it's definitely you can find that line. And that's how I want my O-line to play. I don't know if it was me.
What have you seen from Elliot Noah this season as he's just progressed and getting some more opportunities?
I mean, Fado's done made a lot of really, really big plays, right? So it's just being able to have being able to go in and being able to be successful, and we're able to go that deep in a running back room. That's really rare, and to be able to be that productive, it's pretty awesome.